Pastor Daniel Silva. He would always call me Viking, Viking.
Viking.
And that's Portuguese for Viking. I feel like inside I went through a washing machine.
Oh my goodness,
From the
that's a good way of
first
saying
time,
that.
from the first time in life, I felt clean. Why would God have been giving us tear ducts if we weren't intended to use them?
Right.
It's just like being a teenager in your body. I remember thinking, oh my word, nothing feels right.
Hey, what's up, brother? Hey, come on over, man. What's up? Come on, let me shake your hand.
And blindness is one.
Ooh, what is this? What is this she's speaking of?
Yes, well, that
I'm
was
not
not
really
the
know.
Eiffel Tower. The
Oh,
Eiffel
no.
Tower is in Paris.
Oh no.
Right?
What's the
The
Leaning Tower of Pisa?
Yeah.
What have I done?
Pizza.
I'm leaving that in there just for you. One of the things I had shared with you was the discomfort of sharing.
I get very anxious because I'm like, I need this done in this area, and it doesn't get done in that area, and then I get really reactive sometimes. That's something I've had to become more aware of.
I sometimes will watch people suck on the butt of crawfish.
Oh my, yep. I can't even.
I guess I have to eat the mic. I don't know. But so let's just go back and forth here. Okay. Hello. My name is Pastor Fred, and this is
Julie Ladd.
And we are here live. No, we're not live. We're on a podcast. Okay, let's start over. How about you try it?
That's not where I shine.
That's not where you shine? Okay, it's no problem.
I always
Okay.
get the hint of welcome back, and it's so annoying because I see someone like from the makeup industry that says it, and that's all I can hear in my head when I say welcome back to my channel. I'm like, there's
So,
this cringe in my stomach.
okay. And so you have to tell me who this is that.
Jeffree Star.
Okay, I'll have to look it up. Okay. Hello, Pastor Fred here.
This is Julie Ladd.
And we're here with
Mind
Manna. Oh, no, we're supposed to do together. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay. Hello, Fred here.
This is Julie.
And we're here with
Mind
Manna and Maker. And today's show is going to be extremely fun because we were just having a conversation before we got here. And first we were trying to work with, we were talking about life, in general,
Yes.
getting the kids up in the morning is one of the things. The other thing is my son and his diaper,
Yes.
that situation. You'll have to inquire more to learn of what's going on with that. And then finally the lighting. And I love what you said about the lighting. I'm not a lightings expert, but could you please tell our listeners what you said about?
So I have Norwegian heritage, so Viking heritage. And I mean, for those who know about my personality, would probably say that fits. Our old Spanish pastor, Pastor Daniel Silva, he would always call me Viking, Viking. And that's Portuguese for Viking. And yes, I'm well aware that I have a very loud personality, which my kids could tell you that, yes, they would agree. But my hair, one of the things, and I don't know if this is honestly Viking or Norwegian, but I'm going white hair really, really early. I've just turned 40 and I'll probably be fully white by the time I'm 50.
Yes.
And that is in my dad's side of the family.
Oh, okay. That's what you meant. I thought you were talking about the blonde part of it. You said like you're.
So I'm trying to currently highlight it to camouflage this,
I
but
see.
I am very pale. And so right now my forehead kind of just, I don't know where that starts and my white hair ends, or vice versa.
Well, it's working out perfect. And I think we can go with the Viking thing. It's our podcast and we can do that. So with that being said, I just wanted to remember just a little bit of where the journey we've taken so far. So would you give us a little bit of a recap of what we've covered? I know that you all have only seen just but like a portion of an entire episode, but just kind of a recap, and we can just kind of release those. And this one we could release in its entirety if it should come to that.
So last time we were kind of talking about what led my life up to being a therapist and just kind of the early years. I was trained in EMDR and Brainspotting. I don't know that I had gotten into Brainspotting yet.
Oh, I'm interested.
So
Okay.
2017 is when I actually was initially trained in EMDR. And that's when I had switched to private practice or group. And so I was like, hey, this is kind of connecting me back. I went through EMDR as a client, as a college student, to start working through a lot of my traumas, sexual abuse, and just the other narratives in life that really get stuck sometimes. And then it leads to behaviors that aren't healthy, negative thinking. So
Mm.
I went through that, and I just remember the sensation. I was with Dr. Brown, Kirk Brown from Union, and he took me on as a client on the side, and I it's such an interesting experience, and for people that have been through EMDR or brain spotting would probably be able to say, "Okay, I recognize that feeling." So, there was the event that I was going through the trauma, he was doing the EMDR with me, and I remember when he stopped, I started crying, and I was like, "Oh my goodness,
Oh, wow.
I feel like inside I went through a washing machine."
Oh my goodness. That's a good way of saying that.
From the first time in life, I felt clean
Shoot. That's
internally.
that's another direction
Eh
because I was thinking
Yeah, but I mean, yes, that
yeah.
was that part, but that feeling of going from feeling dirty that you didn't even realize you felt dirty, but then when you started going through this, you realize, "Oh my goodness, there's a deep belief that I'm just not good enough. I'm dirty from the experience that I had that I couldn't control." And I just remember this whoosh of sensation in my chest, and I'm
Mm.
just like, "Oh my goodness, I feel clean."
Oh my goodness. That's wow. That's powerful. That's powerful. That's something that I'm worried about, I think. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm trying to keep emotion in, but I think there's a level of shame
Yes.
with emotion. But like, I worry that there's going to be a day that someone's going to say the right thing, kind of like your washing machine
Yeah.
situation but yours was, I feel clean. Where mine is, and it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be
Yes.
snot bubbling. It's going to be, and you know what? As I'm learning to trust Jesus more and learn to be, I think I'll be ready for it. But like, yeah, it's a scary thing for me. I don't know why.
Emotions are scary. So someone actually asked this during therapy. They're like, "What is the scientific explanation of why emotions are scary?" I
Mhm.
was like, "Okay, this isn't going to be super scientific, but this is how I explained it." So if you were a zebra and you're out in Africa doing your thing,
I love this scene. This is great.
and then you'd say you're the one on duty to protect the herd, and then the lion is coming up. If they're on the horizon, zebras are pretty calm. They're like, they're far enough away. They start getting closer. What are those zebras doing? They're starting perking up. They're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we're starting to get scared here. And that's that. Unfortunately, our nervous system through shaming, whether because a lot of times with the older generation, my parents and my grandparents,
Mm.
emotions were not something to be proud of. It was like, no, shut it down.
Oh, wow.
Shut it down,
Mm.
like, tears are weak. Why would God have been giving us tear ducts if we weren't intended to use them?
Right, right. Agreed.
Like, we have all of this capacity,
Yeah.
and one of the things that I tell my clients all the time is, Jesus went into the wilderness to meditate. Why are we not doing this more?
Mercy.
Why are we and I believe it, he was crying tears of blood, like, how connected are you to your body and how stressed his
Mm.
cortisol levels must have been through the
Oh, man.
roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was crying tears of blood, and "Please take this cup from me."
Yeah.
And I'm like, yet this is where as a therapist who is a Christian, I do not bring this to the table every single time because I do work with atheists and I'm not going to push that down anybody's throat. But I do have clients that specifically come and say, "Hey, I saw that you are Christian on your website, and this is why I've reached out to you." And so that gives us more freedom to talk about this. But
Yeah.
I see this in all genre. Emotions are scary because that lion's getting closer and we're like, "Oh no, this is not good." Because
Mm.
again, we weren't brought up to say emotions are actually normal and we need to feel them. It's just like being a teenager in your body. I remember thinking, "Oh my word, nothing feels right." Like walk funny. I like everything's just doesn't feel right. I just
Yeah.
felt like my skin was just weird because your amygdala, which all the hormones are rushing to your body at
Mercy.
that time,
Yeah.
yeah, of course you feel weird because your body is trying to adjust to a new situation. What happens for the first time you get into a car? Oh my word, it's very anxiety provoking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Man.
now, how many times you drive down the road, you don't even think about it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. I think the reason why is because of what crying is interpreted to be. It's like a form of faithlessness
Mm,
or like losing control.
yeah.
Like if we suspect that someone is losing control, it's like becoming unglued, and who knows what can happen beyond that.
Yeah,
And
it can be scary because I mean, one, look at kids, 3-year-olds, for example. If my kids are a little past this and you have one that's there and one past this,
yeah,
but teenagers are just overgrown toddlers.
that's interesting
So, I
when you look at
mean,
stages. Okay,
I
yeah.
mean, but when you look at it, yeah, they look like they have an adult's body, but their brain is not.
They're still in
And so
development.
a lot of times what happens is we unintentionally put so much on them, expecting them to be able to handle these emotional situations when their brain is like, I don't know how to do this.
Man, oh, man.
And so but again, we're human, and if
Yeah,
we don't know that, it's one of those, I mean, we have to learn what we learn. We don't know what we don't know until we know it.
till we know it, yeah.
And so for a 3-year-old, I remember my son, I mean, and he has ADHD and Tourette's, so I'm a big advocate of this, but at 4 years old, 3 years old, he'd want something, I'd give it to him. "That's not what I want." I'm like, "That's what you asked for. I want the blue cup." "Okay, I gave you the blue cup." And so even now remembering this, I can feel the anxiety that crops up in my chest
Yeah,
because we don't get there all the time anymore,
yeah.
but we still do sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's funny, and that's, I guess, some mana, I guess, because 'cause I'm hearing some mind and what was it? Mind,
The
mana,
maker for
and
sure.
maker. So I'm
Yeah.
hearing maker and mind. A little mana, I guess, when you said
Our
Jesus.
body's needs.
Yeah.
Because that's what manna was. I mean, in the wilderness when, Moses and they were every day, God gave them what they needed. They said, "Don't get more,
Yeah.
except for Friday to get for Sabbath."
I see.
And so but how many times when you look at Maslow's hierarchy, which is the, basic need model, the pyramid,
Yeah.
the basic one is sleep, water, hydration, food,
Food.
manna,
Oh, yeah.
and so I mean, obviously, our body's needs are so important,
Yeah.
and our mind and our body are fully connected, but people seem to forget that.
Mercy. Yeah, when you live in a state of scarcity, you think, well, there's never enough. And I even think about the Israelites, they're like, hey, there were them people. I know I would have been among the ones when looking back and forth, grabbing a little extra, like get just
Yes.
enough for today, right?
Yes.
Oh man, that's a good podcast title. That was yeah, let me see if I have it here. I don't have it. Yeah, that's a good. So yeah, okay, so mind, mana, maker.
Yeah.
Oh, did I change your voice again?
Yes, you did.
Sorry about that. Let me see if I can. Oh, this one here. Let's go. How about now?
Yeah, I think yeah, it's
Okay, we're
back.
good. We're good. We're good. We're good. So one of the things I wanted to spend a little time on was something that made me a little bit uncomfortable when we were leading up to doing this episode,
Okay,
and I kind of wanted to ask you why. So there's two things you mentioned. So
okay.
one of them is you said, maybe I should share my journey, uncomfortable.
Yes.
Okay. The second part of that is what you said, which kind of revealed like everything about me, which is also, you said something about anxiety. Could you
Yes.
share that?
With clients, a lot of times I say, okay, anxiety in itself is a pretty neutral thing. It can get overwhelming to the point that you're not functioning. But when you think of anxiety, a lot of people say, okay, bad, but there can be good anxiety. And so, good anxiety, now nervousness, that might be a better word for people to use. Be like, oh, I'm nervous. And I remember this so well. When I was a kid, I loved going to camp. So, the camp we went
Really?
to was Camp Alamisco, and
Okay.
it was in Alabama. So
Mm.
I was in the Gulf States Conference growing up, and man, I remember getting so excited. I can feel it to this day. Like I'm, oh my word, ma, oh my goodness, like because they had the Pathfinder Pledge and Law all the way up the road, and so I started seeing that. I'm like, yes, I'm like I get to see these people, and I would feel it, but I wouldn't sleep the night before. I
Uh-huh.
was so excited,
Oh,
so excited. But here's the thing that a lot of times when we live in an area or life that we don't have a lot of excitement, we have anxiety. We don't know where we're going to get food. We don't know if our lights are going to be turned off. We don't know that. That anxiety is fear. And so they at least for me, so I can't say this, but a lot of times this fear, this anxiety, nervousness sits in the same part of the body. And so this is why when that excitement of okay, I really like doing this, but there's also that fear of the unknown and what's going to happen.
yeah. That's,
It's hard to separate those
yeah.
two. And so your body can and your mind can interpret that as bad.
Mm,
And then so you have that anxiety of, oh no, but you have energy into going up like front.
mm.
And again, yes, it could be anxiety of like, and the adrenaline that also comes with that
Yeah. Yeah.
because your body is getting you ready for
Yeah.
something. It can't always tell if it's good or bad.
That's crazy. Like, how long have we as humans known that? Like, that's a new concept to me.
I mean, it's a new concept, but when you go back to cavemen,
Yeah.
I mean, they had adrenaline, and I do this a lot. like, in our society, I'm not at all like gender roles, all of that. That's very flexible in that. But when you go back like generations, men, and I still see this today, and I'll explain why, but
Okay.
men were hunters.
Yeah.
They get a hyper focus on something and they do not way from that.
Yeah.
Try getting a husband to clean a house. That is not their hunting field.
But maybe if you reframed it,
Yeah, I'll be like,
go
okay,
hunt dishes.
good luck with that. I mean, but that's the thing, they were meant to, and so guys, that's their sole purpose. Purpose is another word I really want to get
Oh
into.
man. Okay.
Obviously, probably not
Purpose.
this
Ooh.
specific episode, but guys, their purpose was to feed their family.
Yeah.
And women, we had to be more aware of our surroundings to make sure our kids weren't running off and eaten by snakes or something. And so we had all the women kind of being more aware of their surroundings. And who is it usually yelling at home? That I know I am.
You
I'm
don't
the
know.
mother. I'm
It's
the
the
one saying,
mothers.
why
It's the
didn't you guys pick up your shoes?
yeah.
I really, at this point in life, don't think that my kids, my daughter's starting to get there, but my son doesn't see them. He
Yeah.
doesn't. Like,
Yeah.
he's, I don't know. He's a foot away from, I didn't see him, mom.
This
Turn to your left.
this is happening in our home right now. I thought it was an illness that I had that I passed on to my son, but now I realize it's multi. Is it a guy
I
thing?
think, okay, I can't, obviously, I think we have a spectrum of things, but it
Sure.
does seem
Sure.
to be more of a guy thing.
Okay.
They're way more absent minded. Their brain hyper focuses on things, and it is. I also think it's an ADHD thing.
Okay.
And so, I mean,
Fair. Fair.
my
No. No.
entire household is that except me. So there's that piece. But
Yeah.
I can't say this for certain because I haven't read enough probably to further research, but I definitely think our brain, male and female brains are just different. They are. And I mean, scientists can try proving that differently, but they're different. And so when we realize more women, not all of them, but more women, who's the ones finding things when they're lost at the house?
Oh man. Yeah. It's
I
Denise.
can't
It's
find my jacket. Did you look on the couch? Like,
yeah.
it's just that, like, we in our brain, we're like, all right, we need to remember this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
We have to remember because a lot of times this will cause conflict at homes.
Yeah.
And my husband and I, we do the same thing because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I need help. I have all this emotional baggage. And he's like, he has emotional luggage too.
Yeah.
And we're trying to cooperate and live in the same, but we're both
Oh man.
frustrated. And
That's so good what you're saying right now. I really appreciate that because I think that especially this stage of life, we
Mhm.
have some similarities going
Yes.
on, and usually we're just kind of alone. We're with our partners, but to kind of hear that there's others that are walking through this valley of the shadow of life and death here and there, now and then, and like it's funny because Denise called it. I think it's a term like mental load or something like that,
Yeah,
where it's like a overhead because she's carrying all those things, and I'm trying to take some of those things and trying to stop being I don't know what a guy I don't know
hyper focused
hyper
on
focused
your,
yeah and so I'm trying to because I'm good at doing things that I know will make life easier, but the thinking ahead of steps, I think I miss that. If I have a objective, I'm like, okay, I have 10 objectives and I know those things make her life easier.
yeah.
And so I'm like, boom, 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 boom. But to think of the steps, now I'm trying to sit back and do that when I'm doing it,
Well,
thinking
and
outside of it.
a lot of people don't recognize this about executive function.
Okay, tell me this
Oh,
executive
executive
function.
function, we all have it. So
Okay,
it is, I can't remember all of them, but there's a good book called Smart But Scattered.
okay,
And
smart but
it's
scattered.
specifically around executive function. And it's talking about how literally how we function. And people with ADHD, they have a lower executive function overall, usually.
Mhm.
So, for instance, I have low flexibility. And when we are changing or doing things like that, I get very anxious because I'm like, I need this done in this area and it doesn't get done in that area. And then I get really reactive sometimes. That's something I've had to become more aware of.
I gotcha. Hey, what's up, brother? Hey, come on over, man. What's up? Come on, let me shake your hand. We're just doing I can cut this part out, but that's just good to see you. I didn't see.
Yeah.
What's
How you
up,
doing?
man?
Oh, good,
Good,
good. Thank you
man.
for asking. Thank you for
Yeah,
asking,
man.
man.
Yeah, this is my
How you-
brother, man. He
My name's Joshua. Nice to meet you. Merry
yeah,
Christmas.
yeah. So no, we're just doing an episode on so Julie she's into mental health and she's a therapist, and we're just doing a podcast that we made called Mind Mana and the Maker. I'm gonna remember it. So if you ever want to check it out, man, it's the great thing about podcasts is you can just kind of cut stuff out. So yeah, it's cool because he had come through during like the Dorcas food thing, and he didn't have a car, and he was just like, hey, can I just carry a box home? And he's trying to do like his own vocation, like he's trying to do like he's going like putting himself through welding class.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's just a cool guy. Yeah, really cool people. Ex-Marine, as you heard, and all that stuff. So, but anyway, where were we?
We were talking about just life and differences in male, female brains and being able
Yeah.
to understand that. I mean, I was going this direction at some point, but I am trying to remember exactly what I was
Oh,
talking about.
yeah. Let me see if I can help you the way you helped me here. So yeah, we went from the guys, the executive function we were talking
That's
about.
what we were talking about. Okay, yay.
I'm never that guy
So,
that
okay,
remembers
so I was
that.
talking about flexibility. When you think about it, so I have an assessment that I give families, because so time management is one, time blindness is one.
Ooh, what is this? What is this she's speaking of?
Time blindness. So I'm very aware of the time. So I'm usually like, I don't even have to look at the clock to know, okay, how much time has pretty much passed, 5, 10
Really?
minutes. Now, my husband and my son, they cannot tell. My husband's getting better at it, but Aiden, it is such a struggle. Like he will be zoned into something for 30 minutes. If he really enjoys it, he's
Yeah.
like, no, it's not time to be done. I'm like, yes, you've been doing this for 30 minutes. Look at the clock. And that's an executive functioning that
Yeah.
people don't even know. This is why people have a consistency in being late. Probably their time blindness, the time management is going to be probably what's the issue in the
Issue.
executive function. Working memory.
Okay.
This is you set your phone down. Okay, I'll take this now for perimenopause. I set my phone down. I can't find it. I'm using my watch to ding it across the house.
I love how like you're like very transparent. You're just like, this is the stage I'm at and this is what I'm doing. Like fantastic.
It's just if you can't take ownership of where you are in life, what I mean, I think that's the biggest issue for so many people is
Yeah.
we aren't taking ownership. We see this obviously in relationships. I think we see this in our relationship with God. If we don't take ownership of where we're failing or where we're struggling, we are not going to move forward as well.
You're preaching. You're not supposed to be preaching. You're preaching right now. This is speaking to me. No, thank you for that. I think you doing that though, it gives courage, I think, not only to me, but whoever else out there is listening, because when you see somebody model it,
Yeah.
it kind of makes it just kind of,
Well, when you look at it, I think we forget that everybody has to learn something somewhere. I
mm,
didn't know how to do my taxes at one point in life. I do now.
mm,
I mean, I don't because there's too many things now, but I did know how because I had to teach myself. But
mm.
when we learn, and I give this example all the time too, I give lots of metaphors.
I love metaphors. Yeah.
So you know what the Eiffel Tower looks like, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Why?
Because of how tall it is and
And
because of the lean.
yes, well, that was
Not the
not the
lean. No,
Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel
no,
Tower is in Paris.
no.
Right?
What's the
The
leaning
Leaning
tower
Tower
of
of
Pisa?
Pisa, yeah.
What have I done?
Pizza,
I'm
no,
leaving
no.
that in there just for you, by the way. No.
But okay, but Eiffel Tower,
Yeah.
Paris. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's that thing that is kinda like metal that you see through."
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that
The
thing.
bars and yeah.
But if I were to say, "Hey, what does Eiffel Tower look like?" and you've never been outside of a small little village and you've never had any type of news come into your village and you've never seen TV, how would you know what it looks like?
What reference? I'd have zero.
0. And so when you think about that, what template do we have in these areas of emotional management, of what a relationship should God or anybody else look like
Yeah.
if we
Oh,
weren't given that?
that's so good. Especially when you talk about God, when you talk about Maker.
Yeah.
And that's something that can get, I feel,
Mhm.
based on the examples that we're shown. You know how they say that.
Your Father in heaven, if your father wasn't around, you're not going to recognize what that looks like, and I think there is I mean, my husband, we don't have connection with his father because of safety and stuff from his childhood. It's been a huge grief for our family because my kids are always asking, where's their they have grandpa, they have my dad, they have their step grandpa, which there is their grandpa, but when you have that uncertainty and you're growing up pretty much as a male. How do you know how to be a dad? And so then there can be that deep seated imposter syndrome, that severe dread that I don't know how to do this. I mean, if you didn't have the example.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I am among the many without that example. Yeah. So the template, the reference, the framework, the father, the maker. What about, let's see, did we land the plane on the, so I saw a picture of manna on my phone a few nights ago and it was in a kitchen. Would you mind sharing,
Was
sharing
this the
what?
one with Aiden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in our very first episode, when you're talking about manna from heaven, because we were talking about gluten. So if you have a gluten intolerance, you cannot eat this because that's all it
This
is
man is
gluten
not for you.
flour. And so you have this gluten flour, and you have to, I mean, put all the seasonings in it. Well, my mom cans this. So during the summer, she and my grandmother used to do this together.
That's
My
cool.
grandmother's not here anymore, so that's hard.
Mm.
But she would make this gluten, and so we have cans of it. And each summer, you make more cans for the next year. And what she does is she mixes nutritional yeast and flour and breading and garlic and all these other herbs into the breading. And then you get the gluten, bread it, and then you fry it. So,
Oh
I
man.
mean, and this is what we grew up with, though. So instead of meat,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is what we grew up with. I mean, now Adam, he did not grow up Adventist. And so he has eaten all of the things. He's eaten pork and he's eaten crawfish. He's eaten all of it. And so in Jeff, stepping into the area of vegetarian meat has been a new adventure for him, and he does not like all of it, but he likes gluten. But Aiden was helping bread for Thanksgiving, and because
Yeah.
that's what we had was breaded gluten, because we do it and make sandwiches or just eat it plain with ketchup or whatever the case is. But
Oh, that's great.
um, that's something that brings our family together, and I think manna food brings families together.
Oh, man. That's good. That's exactly why I feel like it's meant. Yes, already just the seasoning, the recipe, if you caught it, just I don't know if you gave away the secret ingredient, but it is really, that is a secret ingredient, is you said it brought family together. And now it's kind of like a liturgy, when you guys get together and you get the ingredients and the bag and the water and you wash it, right? You wash the gluten and
Making yes, that's the original way to do it. Now
okay.
there's you add water to the gluten flour itself.
Oh, really?
Originally, all flour had gluten, so you had to wash the other flour out to just leave the gluten. Now
Yeah.
they have gluten flour, so it takes away some of the
The work.
steps.
Yeah, yeah. So growing up, did you always have access to that? Or
So, we actually learned how to make it during school. I remember that was one of our, like, class activities was to make the gluten, and we had to wash the flour out and keep rinsing it. It's like making
yeah.
butter almost where, you have to get all of the buttermilk out until it runs clear,
Yeah,
and then I mean, have to make sure you keep washing the butter until there's no cloudiness.
I
It's
see.
very similar with making gluten. You have to wash all of it until it's just that,
That
consistency of,
yeah.
like, rubber.
More or less, you're not
Yeah.
lying. Yeah, yeah. No, it's true. It's true. It's interesting because I grew up a flexitarian in that very same context. I love how you said, Adam, like I sometimes will watch people suck on the butt of
Oh
crawfish.
my yep, yep. I can't even
I never went that far, but I've had all of the things because it was a house divided. And
yeah.
so I've been a flexitarian and I'm the same as Adam, where there's not many. There are some vegetarian, there's good vegetarian dishes, of course, but the meats themselves, gluten is one of them that I enjoy when done well.
Yeah.
And just hearing the care put into that, putting the garlic and then you said onion was that? And
So, onion
onion,
powder,
yeah,
but roasted garlic seasoning and then nutritional yeast, and then the
nutritional yeast.
Italian breading is
Ah,
mixed all with that.
you can't go wrong with that. Is that gonna happen at potluck?
I mean, we probably could. I have to probably bring
Yeah.
it back from my mother's
Are
at
you
Christmas.
okay, okay. Yeah, we'd be willing to sponsor that pursuit if it needed to be. So that was your manna moment, okay? We wanna try to have in these episodes
Yes.
a manna moment because and it can't just be the food. There's good food, but when like food that brings us together, that deepens experience. And I love the liturgy of you coming together as a family, and now you're including now Adam is a part of that.
Mhm.
And it sounds like he enjoys it.
He enjoys cooking too.
Oh,
I
yeah, he
mean,
does,
does
right?
enjoy cooking. That's something that he's grown into since we've been together. He likes to look at recipes. We send him all the time to each other on Messenger. Ooh, this looks good. Do all of them get made? And probably 1% gets made. We're sending each other back and forth of like, ooh, this looks good. Let's make this.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Ours is more is trying to simplify, like, oh, all you need is 2 ingredients, 3
Yeah.
ingredients.
5 ingredients.
Put them in
Air.
and shake it. And boom, your meal's done, like, wow, we didn't know you could do that, Oh man. So that's for you. So that's the mana moment.
Yeah.
So with the time we have left here, I'm going to do my best here to kind of give you how I became like a pastor. Is that what?
Your journey, it's not over yet. So
It's true. That's true. That's very true.
It's all about the journey, not the destination.
The destination. I think that was Saint Augustine. I'm going to have to look that up. Quote me on that.
It's definitely more of a mental health. I don't know who said it first, but I'm sure someone did.
Yeah.
Because mental health is never about the destination.
Yeah, that's a good point. I really love our talks because I'm trying to figure mine out. And one of the things I had shared with you was the discomfort of sharing because it has so many parts to it. So I want to focus on a single part. I don't like to talk about myself. And I might cut this part out because I don't think people want to hear it. That's for some reason. I don't know why
People
that is.
People are nosy. Why do you think I do my job?
You're like,
I'm just professional nosier.
That was fantastic. Yes. So, so maybe that's what I need to think. They want to know, but
people want to know.
But when their eyes glaze over or they're like, I don't know.
This is a challenge for you. Is it about them or you at this point? Are you learning to challenge yourself to get past that, whether or not you think? You're only thinking. They're not verifying that they're...
Yeah, that's a good point. You know what I think it is? I feel like you're a good storyteller, by the way, because I think it's your analogies. Like, the last episode we did, just the piece there, I was able to put these little visuals in there because you describe things in these little ways real quick along the way. My wife is also a very good storyteller as well. But like for me, I think it's because I work in the environment of short attention span with kids all the time. So I know that I have to get things off quick. I have to be like, okay, here it comes. We're zoning in. And I drop it. Boom, boom, boom. There, the end, you know?
That makes sense.
And so I don't know if I adopted that thinking along with some things in the past, but here it is. Really fast and interrupt me here sometimes. So the journey to pastordom was not intended. I didn't plan on it. And do I embrace and love it? I do. I'm only recently understanding what it really ought to be or could be. Yeah. And another thing is that I realize the word pastor seems like it's like the Maytag man. I don't know why these days it's kind of a term that's taboo because, church has changed the dynamic, and so, but I realized the art of pastoring isn't really like there's a way to lead and pastor without like leading and pastoring, like saying there's a way that you can pastor and people won't even
know you're a pastor.
Yeah. Yes, because
I agree. I think that the word pastor, especially if you've grown up in the church, can seem like this over dooming thing of you're bad, stop doing this, all of these things. And so when you grow up in that, you're like, oh, great. Much like my kids would say when I'm trying to say something like, Mom, nothing I can do is right. And I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to say. I love you. I want you to improve. But they don't view that message that way. They view it as critical and they can't do anything good enough.
See, good point. That's perfect. Because it's like, I'm a human like everybody else. And I think that sometimes the perception is that they're overly pious. Pastors go both ways. It's crazy. Like they go either over pious or they're like, they realize what they are. So they go like rogue, just go the other way.
I'm leaving.
They're like, or they're like a pastor that like, I don't know, kills a 6-pack every night or like goes some
human.
Yeah.
We're all sinful.
Yeah. Right. We have, in need of a savior. Right. Yeah. And so identity, I think in the role, for me, I'll give you the short, this is where the boundaries I'll put on it. I've had to find my identity in Christ before I was able to add these other layers. And you know how you talked about the template of being a father. So to be a father, to be a son, to be
A
a
leader.
leader, thank you. I struggle with that a little bit. I like to be second. I like to hide. I like to deflect.
You like to be the supporting role.
I like to be the supporting role. Yeah. And so in that, I sometimes don't trust maybe what God has put on me. And so I don't know when you say the imposter syndrome, I don't doubt what I'm saying while I say it, but I believe it for myself, but I don't believe it for others. I don't know
Mhm.
what that is.
Like yourself and others, like that what you're saying
Right.
is
So I don't believe that it means something to me, like what I'm doing and saying, but when it gets to somebody else, when they hear what I'm saying, I don't feel like it has that
so I think that's where
power.
faith comes in, isn't it? Because we all have a different perception of life. If you were to go outside and see a dog laying on the sidewalk, you and I might have a different perception. You might
Mm,
immediately go to, "Uh-oh." I don't know what your thought would be. I'd be like,
sure.
what happened? Who dropped it off? Did someone hit this?" I'd be looking for
Yeah.
blood, all of those things.
Yeah.
But
Another person's danger is a dog.
yeah, leave it. And so exactly, like, each person has perception there, and this happens a lot in things. A girl and a guy will see something differently and they'll
Mhm,
go to something else.
mhm.
Like, let's see, a shower. My son currently runs away from them. My daughter stays in them too long. So
It
a
balances
shower is
the
in
water bill.
itself neutral. We need them, and I appreciate people taking them.
Please continue out
Yeah.
there, friends.
But they see that, and my son sees it more like the evil thing that takes him away from all his fun things.
Yeah, yeah.
And my
It's
daughter drives up our water bill. I mean, and
so
so
good. Yeah.
I think that's where my challenge would be for you, and my prayer for you would
Appreciate
be
it.
is that what you have to say is going to hit the ears of those that need it. And that's going to be where you need to have some radical acceptance and blessing and releasing of God's going to make that whatever's need to be heard. It's
Yeah.
like Tower of Babel before, like, or when
Yeah.
the disciples were talking in tongues and everybody was hearing it in their language.
That's good. Yeah.
You were talking in yours, and the bless and release is, Lord, okay, it's going to land where it needs to
It
be.
needs to be.
Kids shouldn't be on YouTube, so you can tell more about your story and not worry about glazing people over because they're gonna listen to it if
That's
they
right.
need to.
That's right. That's good. That's good. No, I appreciate that. I feel like we kind of come to the heart of it. I think I fear rejection too. I don't like to make I feel like maybe it should be reaching everybody. But no, I love the faith element. I'm gonna take that. I received that. Ooh, that's good. Ooh, that was from the maker.
Where
Thank
do you
you.
feel that body-wise?
Yeah. Let's
Where is
see.
that?
Let's see. I would say here, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the heart area, that would
Yeah.
make sense.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm learning about that stuff. Where you feel it? When you said that to me the first time, I was like, I don't
Dropped
know.
into your body enough
Yeah.
to know because 'Cause you're
I've
only up
never been
here.
there. Yeah, yeah. I've never lived there. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening. So I might visit.
I mean, your son did look a little shocked when I asked him that too, like, I'm not sure." He did a pretty good job though. He's
Yeah,
like, "I don't know."
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. That's a thing. That's a thing. Oh, goodness gracious. That's so good. Okay. Yeah. So I'll give that much. I'll say for this episode is simply that the identity thing, the
Mhm.
identity of knowing who I am in Jesus and really being grounded in that, which will help the father. I'm being a father right now to two in two different milestones,
Yes.
Moses 14, Ezra 3, and then being a husband.
Mhm.
And that's a toughie at times because, you're working through your garbage while you're trying to be those things.
I know the difference because you and Adam, my husband, are similar in a lot of ways, which
Mm,
I know you and I've already talked about. And
yeah,
me and your wife have a lot of similarities. The
indeed.
difference is you've known your wife for almost your entire life.
Indeed.
My husband and I have not.
Oh,
We
I
met
see.
each other in our 20s. And so you had a lot more development to go through with your wife and seeing teenagers and up. I've told Adam this before. So if he ever hears this, he's going to know if I would have met him as a teenager, we would not be married.
Fair, 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 fair.
But
Just different places.
yeah,
And yeah, it's
brings
perfect.
us in our timing together.
Amen. Amen to that. And so, yeah, so it's like those layers, right? And so right now, the one I'm working on is the one as a pastor, right? And I think the reason why is maybe the chaotic it seemed, sometimes the path with which you arrive kind of makes it seem like
It's
it
not
was,
even.
yeah,
I mean, if anybody I've known, if you're wanting to grow muscles, you have to actually work them out.
Man, that's
So it's
facts,
not
man.
going to be horizontal. It's going to be up and down and sideways and backwards and all of that. And that's how we build resiliency and muscles. And we have
Man.
to hurt.
Man, stop all the hurt stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. La, 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 la. No, no, I totally feel that. No, I appreciate that. Man, that's so good. Man, I feel like this is less of a podcast, but helping me. This is really good. This is really good. And so, yeah, so I guess to land the plane on that whole thing, that's where I'm at right now. And the journey to get here as a pastor was a strange path.
Multifaceted
Multifaceted,
experience.
yeah, and I'm still on it even now, and so I praise God for it. I'm a youth and young adult associate pastor here at Wichita South, and it's
You
been
baptized both of my kids.
I did. Man, it's been a privilege. It really has. Man, and the cool thing is, I kept with it is that after you get baptized, and this is for all of you out there, don't let them just baptize you. There's a journey beyond, right?
Yeah.
And that's the walk, the sanctification, the building, the growing. What's up, Sage? And all of that. I think this might be a good place. Without further ado, my name is Pastor Fred, and
This is Julie.
that's
A new episode coming your way.
Yeah, a new episode coming your way. Stay tuned.